Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today my good friend Philip Campa is going to do a deck profile on Traptrix hands, which seems to be like the hottest thing right now. So hopefully you all enjoy. I would like to give a special thanks to Mike Bui, one of my good friends, who allowed us to use his deck. And yeah, so enjoy. Bye-bye. I'll do that.
Fucking on, man. Hey guys, what's up? It's HolyCheetos here on Kristin Cortez's YouTube channel, and bringing you a deck profile today on probably what is the best deck of the format, the Traptrix hand artifacts, or HATrix as people are calling it. So I know that a lot of the builds are the same. This is our very good friend Anthony Vo's little brother. His name is Mike Bui. He is the best 14-year-old to ever play Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe. And this is his build of it. So we're just gonna get right into it. As far as the Traptrix go, it's 2 Traptrix diarrhea, because she shits on everybody, and 2 Traptrix Murmillo. I feel it adds sort of a like rank 4. It's more of the like, you know, bear wolf bark of the deck, and it's just like so good. Just if I have to explain what these do, then you should play more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like summon, grab any bottomless or any kind of trap hole, and then it's like, bring it back, pop a spell or trap, and then make a rank 4. It's just, these cards shouldn't have been printed right now. I think we should have had these back in like 2009. That would have been nutty, like right after Teledeck format. And for the hands, mostly every deck this format.
Hands everywhere!
Playing the hands. There's a couple of cool tricks you can do to make them like miss timing. Like if your opponent has a fire hand, you have a fire hand, but theirs is in defense, and you swing into it, and they go to pop yours, and yours is gonna miss timing because theirs is gonna resolve first. But as far as the 2 hands, like say both players have an ice hand and they crash into each other, both will activate in the same chain, turn players chain link 1. We actually had so many disputes over this, but that just goes to prove that it is probably the best 2 cards of the format. Another thing that we should have had years ago, I think, more like this. They're like Reborn Tengu, just not as good as Reborn Tengu. I'll always like Tengu instead of the hands. And for the artifact part of the deck, you play 3 Moral Tech and 1 Bagel Tech, or 3 blue and 1 red. These just, I don't even know, because every time I play against this deck, it's just like I am in such, because I play Mermails and I'm so afraid to like marksman anything. That's why, like, if you have the end phase sphere to end phase marksman them, or end phase MST or Dust Tornado, it's always better to do that against this deck if you want to try to get rid of back rows. Because it's just so punishing if you hit one of these on your turn, or even if they flip into like an artifact sanctum or something, which is this $45 card for no fucking reason. Like the amount of disruption that this deck offers in accordance with the hands and the Traptrix is just unheard of. And the last 2 monsters, which aren't even really monsters, these are spells, hand traps, whatever, 2 maxis, because like screw dragons and mermills, and you want to draw when they use stuff. Onto the spells, you got 3 artifact ignition, as well as, oh, he doesn't play MST, well darn. These are his MSTs. And whenever you could play one of those, you can set one of these guys from your deck, and that's when everything just starts flowing together, and it's beautiful, man. It brings a tear to my eye. And you have 3 Pot of Dualities, just because the deck really doesn't special summon on your turn much at all, and any deck that only plays, what is it, like downwards of 15 monsters? Yeah, we're around 15. You want to play Dualities as your other 3 monsters, plus they net you any other card within the top 3 of your deck. Just duality too consistent. And 2 Pot of Dichotomy. You see the vast array. You have insects, you have fairies, you have pyro, you have aqua, and you have a plant. I didn't know this was a plant until yesterday. I knew weed was a plant 3 years ago, but this is a plant now, and it's legal. You should play it. And it's Pot of Avarice is banned, but this is just so much better for the current format. Another card that I think we should have had years ago. The last 2 spells, Mind Control and Book of Moon. Book of Moon's fallen out of play a lot lately. There's a lot of reasons why, too many for me to list in this video, and partially because I just really wouldn't want to sit here and list out the 162 reasons that Book of Moon's being played and not being played. And Mind Control is probably the MVP card of this format. From a water aspect, it's like playing a better Aqua Spirit. just because you don't have to waste the slot on the monster, plus it's more versatile. And being able to take control of their armor and then like just blow an Exciton on them or something is just game changing. Onto the gratuitous amount of traps. You have 3 Artifact Sodomy, Artifact Sanctum. It's like this deck's equivalent to Abyss Sphere and Gear G Gear. You flip it, you bring out this fucking dude, and then you blow shit up. And then if they like end phase MST it, which I have done so many times, like end phase Space or end phase Marksman, Gust Tornado did, they get to pop a card on the field. And it's just like, I didn't even know that card did that. I just thought it special summon one. But there's a reason this card's like running up on $50. So get your set while you can, guys. As far as the traps, the bottomless trap hole and the Traptrix trap hole, these are what you're searching with your Murmelos or adding back with your Dianarias. This card, bottomless is going in and out for me. Yeah, it hits everything off of a soul charge. That's big. But as far as whole nightmare, like it was what, $1.50, $2, and now it's running up on what, 15? It's 15 still. I was gonna say 7. Man, this card's good. This card's so good. But most of the time, like with other trends of the format, it'll probably end up either staying where it's at or falling out. So we can only really tell with time. For the rest of the traps, pretty staple. Solemn Warning, Torrential Tribute, Compulse, double call the Haunted, just because during your opponent's turn, you can call the Haunted on any of your artifacts, any of your 4 artifacts that are all tutorable by other 6 cards in your deck, and you can just start setting them off even when your opponent isn't playing reactively, and you have to be the proactive one, which isn't always the case in this deck. Card of the format number 2, Wiretap. This card, there's just so many things right now that are just like Sanctum. Like, let's say they flip a Sanctum and you had 7 tools it. Well, it's being destroyed, you still lose a card. So you paid 1,000 and you -1 off of a Sanctum that you ended up negating anyway. But like, you wiretap a Sanctum, absolutely nothing happens. Wiretap on Gear G Gear, on Abyss Sphere, even on a Reckless Greed. I've had wiretap hit my Recklesses before, and it's just been like mind-blowingly lethal. Card's only like $3 right now too, so buy like 149 of them when you can, because you should. And last but not least, the other card that seems to be making or breaking the format, Breakthrough Skill. Coming from my perspective, this card is probably one of the best traps, just because in decks that have, including this deck, in decks that have problems with like Dweller, you can stop the Dweller on their turn if you need to, and then after getting that first use out of it, you banish it from the graveyard and you can hit the Dweller for an entire other turn. It also does really good playing around like Constellar Pleiades, which this deck can make, Abyss Gaios, everything, opposing Dragosax, you name it, the card stops it. Not going to do the side deck because at the moment, Mr. Bui would like to keep that under wraps, but as far as the extra deck goes, Gaia Charger, Constellar M7, Tyrus, Volcasaurus, Zenmayo, Crimson Shadow Nigga, and Pleiades as your 5s and up. The time that you have Beagle Tech and Moral Tech on the field, or 2 Moral Techs on the field, actually pops up a lot more surprisingly more than often. And just being able to make any one of these, this is probably my favorite, just because you can bounce away 2 and then you can just make an M7, or you can make a Gaia Charger. And I still think Gaia Charger's like ridiculously good, especially for the Sylvans that are around. If like, Sylvans aren't really big right now, but just punishing them for having Dandelion in their deck is so hilarious to me. But most of the time against this deck, you're probably going to see a Pleiades just bounce away 2 cards, and then next turn they're going to go into an M7. As far as the 4s go, which is the rest of the extra deck, we have Honor Arc, double Exciton Knight, because why not? Ragna Zero, Black Strip of Corn, Abyss Dweller, Cowboy, and Daigusto Emerald. Out of all of these, the 2 cards that are probably, 3 cards that are probably the most meaningful to everything that this deck does. Black Strip of Corn, just getting that Fire Ice Hand off the field in the mirror match and not having its effect trigger is just so big. And Ragna Zero having basically a main decked overwork against anything like Fire Fist, Fusions, Madolches, even Gravekeepers, to be able to just pop, like start picking things off. He answers 2 monsters when he comes out over the course of like basically a turn and a half, my turn then their turn. I think this card should have been more than rare. And in a super hand format where you're just going to probably blow through all of these guys in one turn, Like Emerald's just, oh, I'm on my last hand, well I'm gonna make an Emerald, I'm gonna throw 3 of them back, get to draw a card, and then start crashing hands again. Overall, I think that this deck, I don't even want to like stretch it, but I think this deck's gonna win Nats just because the amount of people playing it.
You're crazy! Madolches is totally gonna win.
How actually consistent it is just not only mind-blowing, but just like stupid. Like most of the time when you see decks like this, it's like all the top tables will be one deck. And I know that we're in a really diverse format right now, but just like these 4 cards seem to just do so much more than any other 4 cards in any other deck over the format, like across the board. Like, yeah, you can put the hands in anything, you can put Traptrix in anything, and you can put artifacts in anything. They're all 3 very splashable engines, but when you just combine the 3, it just makes one of the most annoying decks. It's like the new +1 Fire Fist. Like once they get rolling with their advantage, you just couldn't beat it. So definitely watch out for this deck at any of your locals, regionals, or nationals. Definitely, you're gonna see this deck at nationals. And just be prepared. That's all I can say. So until next time, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful time playing this godforsaken game that for some reason we all love. Definitely subscribe to Kristin Cortez's channel. She is only the inferior duelist for a very small amount of time before she gets really, really good and starts kicking all y'all's asses. But I am HolyCheetos. Thank you, Kristin, for having me on your channel, and have a good night, guys.
Thank you.